If I was listen,
Who going to the Super Bowl and why? Let's go.
I would say Kansas City and Philadelphia. That's who I think.
What's up, everybody? This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation, welcoming you back. Oh, yeah, we back. You thought we was gone. Never, never. For ONYXCON Fitness Sports Talk with my special guest today. This is my homie, y'all. This is one of my day ones, another one from the cloth, from the soil, from the red clay, just like me, from the ATL. This is my dude all the way back to middle school. Think about that. Middle school, sixth graders, sitting in the morning waiting to go to class before the bell ring to go to your first class. What comic you got, man? I just got that new X Factor. What you got? I got that new G.I. Joe. We swapping books. A little more background on who he is. If I miss anything on this list, I guess I have a little list. If I miss anything on this list, I'm sure he's going to fill you in. But he is a well-decorated, one of the highest of his class in Atlanta, firefighter. Salute to your service, sir. He is a former, but always, as forever, military man of what branch again?
Army. Who
has been on multiple tours. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll speak a little bit on it if you want to fill him in. He is a triathlon athlete. Did I get the right word? Is that the right word?
Triathlete. Yeah.
Triathlete. You know, we talking about swimming in the contaminated Chattahoochee River. We talking about jumping out and running through fire. We talking about running. We talking about diving with this dude. And every time I'm on Instagram, I swear to you, he's the only person I know, because I follow a lot of real series. I'm not saying he ain't real, but I'm saying he ain't trying to be a bodybuilder and compete like that. But I'm saying on the strongman competition level, the last time I checked on this brother, because he's been doing a lot more lately. We're gonna have him, hit you with the Instagrams if y'all want to follow him, ladies especially, because we are single men, and I know that we're gonna help you out with that. But when I tell you this brother be lifting cars, like literally, I was like, wait a minute. Now, see, I'm used to seeing him with the bar, and he pulling up, and he got the 45. It would be about 2 or 3 of them on each side. No, last time I checked in on this dude, he lived, I swear I saw 6 of them on each side, y'all. He can tell you what it was. I think I saw 6.
It was 6 plates, but I used bumper plates, and each bumper plate, even though the size is the same, they're not all 45 pounds.
Brother,
those are people that go to traditional gyms, every plate the same size of the same weight. Wasn't all the same weight.
So not all of those that were the even size were 45s? They looked the same size, but they were not 45.
Well, they were the same. That same size, yes.
Those were 45. I know a 45 when I see one. And the bars are usually 45. So add all that up. That's all I'm saying. This brother lifting that. So I don't know who he is. Like last time I saw him, I knew he could do some stuff. But once I saw that, I was a little scared to hang out with him. I just want to make sure he's in a good mood from now on. If we kicking it and talking about sports and stuff.
I'm an old man trying to keep it together. That's all.
This dude is incredible, y'all. And let me see what else did I add to the list. Comic book aficionado to this day, hardcore collector, seriously about it, and also a world traveler, someone who I admire so much in that category because it's something I just embarked on as of 2022, and I see now what it takes just on that one trip, how much is involved. How many places have you been, if you tried to count off the top of your head, outside of the United States?
How many countries?
Countries outside the U.S. Places that require passports.
Some of the guys at work had me do it. I think I'm right around 30. But some of those are the Caribbean, and there's a lot of little islands in the Caribbean. So you get 6 or 7 of them.
It don't matter.
I mean, you go on a cruise, you might get 3. You go to
we both know there's people who ain't been nowhere, ain't never gonna go nowhere, that want to go somewhere. So to go 30 anything is a feat of awe. And it is one of the main reasons why I added vlogging vacation logs and all of that to part of ONYXCON's content because it's a super feat. It really is. I mean, the root of ONYXCON is comic book culture and everything related. But we branch off into all these other things because I started realizing as I got older, I said everything I'm into in other areas of life is related to all these arts that I'm into. It all connects to these arts. And I mean arts plural. So, when I see people like you doing it, man, I want to say on camera, I know I may have told you this before, but you live what we call ONYXCON a lifestyle now. It ain't just a convention. It never was. But once we had to move past the live events and put everything online, you live the ONYXCON lifestyle, bro. Like, in every facet, you are living it. So it's good to know other people as friends that you can point to and say, that's what I mean when I say ONYXCON lifestyle. This is what I'm talking about. And you ain't got to do everything that me or this gentleman does. But if you're into it in any way, if it interests you, if it's going to get your mind going and stimulate you to do more in life and live your best life creatively, that's the ONYXCON lifestyle. So salute to that, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, man, that's something. So of all your places that you've been, I know this is sports talk, but since I got you on here and it's hard to get you, I want to make sure we at least cover some of the other things that I always be wanting to talk to you about and still related back to sports. I had to mention too, because we're going to also mention you are, you're still an athlete in the weight building and everything. You can tell me what else you might in the triathlon, but you are a former football player. I mean, you ain't still doing flag football somewhere too on the weekend, are you?
Well, no, the last flag football I did was a few years ago. I was doing it with my fire department. And I had this guy shake me so bad, I just knew it was time to hang up my cleats and go and take it to the house. He shook me 3 times before I could react to the first one. I just watched him score the winning touchdown. I said, God dog it. Might be time to be just a spectator.
Just be a spectator. Yeah. Right on. Now, what position were you known for? What did you play?
When I played, which was several years ago, 3 decades
now,
ago.
Started to begin. Did you play Little League and all? See, I don't know anything about that. All I knew was
I did not play football until Mays.
Until Benjamin Elijah Mays High School, ATL.
Mays High School.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me represent properly. Keep talking. I got you.
Okay.
There you go.
There it is.
There
it is.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you remember, but in 8th grade, when we were at Southwest Middle School,
take them back. They don't understand.
I went out for football in 8th grade, and I got cut.
I did not remember that.
After I got cut, and I walked home in the rain with my little teary eyes because it was over for my football career. I was done with football.
Wow.
When I got to high school and I got to Mays, met a couple brothers you probably remember, Tellers Harris, Steve Bailey. I was always cool with them.
Remember some of these names, yeah?
Yeah, and they convinced me to come back out, try out again in the 10th grade, and from then I played 10th, 11th, and 12th. I didn't really play college ball. I wanted to. I probably could have if I would have had any sense in my head, because I made a lot of dumb decisions in high school, but that's neither here nor there.
Now check this though. So I never realized that you always, for some reason I pictured you did all of high school, but it wasn't even until 10th grade. Check this out, young folk. You know what I'm saying? It's never too late to start what you want to do. And as he said, he got cut in 8th grade. Okay. But then, as I remember, you were one of the star performers on the team when you were playing. You was one of the dudes now, as I recall, especially by our senior year.
I did what I could as much as I could.
Now, what was your position? I don't think we said the position.
I played strong safety and outside linebacker.
Okay.
Basically, kind of just depends. Well, it depends on how you look at your defense, and like these current defenses, the best way to equate it would be like a weak side linebacker or a strong safety. So that's kind of what I would play. Okay, so if I was really, really, really good, I would have been Troy Polalaman.
And that's for
you remember play for the Steelers?
The Samoan brother, or Polynesian. I don't know if he's Samoan particularly, but yeah.
I would have been kind of that player, so a safety is a strong safety is like a fast linebacker and a slow cornerback. So that's kind of what I was. I was kind of a hybrid person. I was always kind of in the middle. I wasn't big, but I wasn't small. I wasn't fast, but I wasn't slow. So I kind of was in that middle.
If they coming through your area and you get them, it's over. But if you can't catch them, they might have a chance. But other than that, I'm taking you out.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. All right. Cool. So, so if you had played in college, like where did you go to school? I never knew.
I went to University of Central Florida.
I never knew.
UCF.
UCF. Them Knights.
It was the Golden Knights back then. They kind of changed. They got a whole different brand. When I went down there, it was somewhere between a Georgia Southern University and a Georgia State University.
Okay.
That's the closest comparison to what it was. Now it's the largest university in the country.
In the country?
In the country.
In the country.
In the country. They have so many students, it's ridiculous.
I had no idea.
College is now, it's a small city. It is huge. It is gigantic.
I knew it had to be big just because it may have been, I mean, I can't even remember how many, it was before the pandemic. So however many, 4 years ago, right? I'm just, like I say, casual fan. I happened to sit down and catch a bit of one of their games. And it was one of the most insane things I've ever seen at home. Because as you described, the stadium culture, the crowd was so loud
they call it the bounce house. They're a crazy little group of fans.
And for it to be mostly a predominantly white school, what cracked me up was the soul of their doggone call and response, which is a very African cultural thing. But they have definitely adapted it, because when I heard the chants in the crowd and everybody yelling it back, I said, wait a minute, what is this?
So actually, that's kind of how I got down there. They wanted to, get some diversity at the school, and we took that. You remember PSAT that you take 10th, 11th grade? Well, I took it, and evidently I did well enough on it, and I received a scholarship to go there. And I was like, well, I hadn't put in any applications anywhere else, so I guess it's where I'm going to school. So yeah, between then and I had actually a couple football offers to smaller schools. Actually, the Naval Academy was started to recruit me, and at the time, I had no interest in going into the military. None. I was like, I'm done with this. I want to grow a beard and be a wild man in college and have fun. I didn't want any structure. Probably one of the worst moves I made, but I made it, and here I am now, so I'm okay.
He's okay. So now, were you in ROTC and all of that too, or?
Yeah.
Okay. In high school. So that's what led to that opportunity. I get it. Yeah. I was trying to remember that when you said that. Okay, that's what's up. So basically, again, to the young folks, listen to these older folks' paths. We can give you a lot of, our path ain't your path, but if you're in some similar shoes, you might learn 2 things, So yeah. So after college and everything, never played again. But as far as athleticism, you've always been into the weights and everything, I'm assuming.
That's what I will credit football for. Football created my fitness life. So once I started working out in high school for football, when I went to college, a couple of my dorm mates, we went to the campus gym and we would work out and play ball or whatever. And then after that, everywhere I came, I always found a gym to somehow do some type of exercise, some form of exercise. So I probably really got into it in my later 20s. And from that point, I don't think I missed 4 days in a row of working out since then. And that doesn't say I'm in the greatest shape and I'm bodybuilding and I got a 6-pack, none of that. I just enjoy working out because I enjoy it. To me, it's like my form of therapy. It's really it's my moment of release. It's how I get my endorphins, how I relax, makes me feel better. So that's kind of why I like to work out.
That's what's up. My hat is out to all you serious gym folks. When I see you doing all that and you post the videos, I've never been a dude who wants
no.
I just don't hit the gym. I did it recently. I did a video and just dropped it, but I'm just I don't be in there all the time. I be in the woods.
I have to go into the archives and show your pull-up videos and your swim videos and you repping out your 20 pull-ups. Don't say yourself short.
I got it when I need it. I just don't do it regular. I'll be honest. I wish I did. I didn't. I mean, It's like I know I've learned that when they say your diet is everything, And then I've had some recent health issues that made me force me into a new diet. You know what I'm saying? We hit them 40s, bro. I swear, right?
I was laid up in the hospital last year around this time.
Man,
first time I ever been to a hospital,
brother. I ain't even. I'm gonna reveal it in this video. I'm just gonna say I had a moment last year too. There was something about 2022, but mine was not totally unexpected. It was actually my second time in that environment for the same thing. But the second time around, I realized, okay, I can't be playing at all about this. I'm changing everything. So ever since then, I've been on a kick, and those be personal matters. But I've been debating revealing it as part of ONYXCON content just to help somebody else. Because if I can help somebody else not end up there, because they don't see it coming or they think they're doing everything right. Because the other part of it is, I'll just say this: I learned from my situation that I used to laugh at friends of mine who if they went hardcore vegan, but before they did, they was, let me get a steak and let me get this and all this other stuff. And then one day we'll go out and they're eating straight vegan. I said, oh, you went vegan? They're like, yeah. And then it lasts maybe a couple of months and then they back on the other thing. And it used to be funny, but then I realized what's not funny is people realizing what they got to do for themselves. We are not monolithic people in our genetic code. We say we're black. I always say black is, if you're black, if you quote unquote white, all of these are racial identities. All those are constructs. None of that got to do a damn thing with the genes that came into who you are. So in your family tree, I ain't gonna get too far off on this, but this does apply to fitness. I'm saying, if you don't understand that you are not all African most of the time, as being African American, most of the time we are mixed with so much else. We got the native going on, we got the indigenous of that. Sometimes we don't know who that is. Most of the time we don't know. We got different Europeans. Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know. And even with the African, a great many of us, we know we African, but we don't know what particularly, right? So people been eating a certain way for 100 centuries in each of those groups. And then it came together to make you and your family. I swear we got something. So something is going to overpower something else. There may be something you can drink more of, drink less of, eat more of, eat less of. It's going to keep you out the hospital. And I thought I was doing the healthiest thing for me based on what you typically hear about. I'm the omnivore. I eat the meat. I pretty much eat every meat except pork. I let go of pork years ago, mainly for the salt and the fat. But it ain't because I didn't like certain tastes, but it ain't that deep. I don't need bacon. My thing was pork chops. I was addicted to pork chops. But these days people
I'm eating some bacon.
Look at that's always what get them, boy. You bring up the bacon, you find out who the pork eater are.
Hey, I'm gonna eat the bacon, so we can just deal with that later. So
I just wanted to say that, but we might get into that, like I say, on some later content. But for now, just if working with what you got, what do you think is most important for anybody to reach their goals? Because I know you're training too. You train people.
Yeah. So I have a model. It's not scientifically proven. I don't know if there's a book out there anyway, but it's my theory and my thought process. If you look at your fitness or what it is, it's who you are, what you eat, and what you do. And who you are is probably 60% of the formula. 65% of the formula. The next 25%, I would say, is what you eat. And then the last 10 or 15% is what you do. So like you said, if I didn't do anything, I would still probably be 200 pounds. My bones, my size, I might not be as strong, but I would still be, I have a good friend who you remember, Steve Bailey. We give him a hard time all the time. He has a naturally slender frame. He doesn't pick up weight easy. On the contrary, he can't gain muscle mass easy. So a person who runs Olympic marathon is never going to be a power lifter. They're not designed to do it. And the power lifters could run a marathon, but they'll never be competitive. They'll never be in that Kenyan 1% winning. You can do it. You can always train your body to do different things. But if you are of slight build, I always say just make you the best you that you are.
That's right.
But that's me, because I am contrary to bodybuilding. I don't believe in bodybuilding. So like I said, basically, you train yourself to be the best you that you are. And what I would hope people to do is, I hear a lot of people like, I just want to pick up some mass. I want to be bigger. I'm like, why you want to be bigger? Unless you're trying to go to the NFL and play a different position or something. What do you want to be bigger for? If you want to lose some body fat, like you feel like you're body fat, or you feel like you want, your shirts to hang better. You can pump your body up a little bit. But if you're a very thin person, like you look at most basketball players, they're just not going to pick up a lot of mass. It's just not in who they are. And I don't see why you would want. To me, if you accept who you are and just fine tune and maximize who you are, that would be my best credit for it. Not everybody's meant to be a power lifter. Some people are meant to be sprinters. Some people are meant to be jumpers. Be what you are and be good at what you are. And that's kind of the best way to do it.
That's what's up. I know I faced that a long time ago, and I'm good with what I am because I know that I'm in that kind of what you were saying. The exact, like, the only sports I think I would excel at if I was really training for it would be stuff like, say, kickboxing, because I know I got that kind of build, or swimming, because I got that kind of build, or whatever. But like that's me. I just stay in my lane. I ain't trying to get out there and lift them cars like Sherwin Brown. That's Sherwin Brown. Yeesh. I'm just gonna be like, boy, Hercules.
I just try to be as well-rounded as possible.
You're doing it, bro. You're doing it. So, all right, this hat is getting hot, but we're gonna go into some sports talk about these teams. I wore this specifically for you, and for the fact I am from Atlanta and we relate. I mean, when I rock Atlanta gear, I tell people all the time, man, this is part of the casual fan code of conduct, personal code of conduct. It's about when you represent and people be like, oh, did you see the game last night? No, and they look at you strange, like, well, why you got all that on? Because I'm from Atlanta. Or if it's some other team, because I like the team. I like the colors. I like the mascot. I like somebody on the organization and what they did for a community, and I like how they were in a certain interview, and I really respected what they had to say or whatever. That's how I am. Do next season. And I'm taking this on because it's getting hot. Yeah.
For the Falcons?
And try and make it brief because I know you got lots.
Man. Well, honestly, this year was I would consider this year a rebuilding year. They swung for the fences 2 or 3 times, and I think they fouled out or they struck out. So let's say with the quarterback position, a lot of people were not fans of Matt Ryan. A lot of people call me a Matt Ryan apologist. I wasn't that. I just respected that the position he played and what he was doing was within realm of you can build around. Because see, I don't believe in these perfect players, and I don't believe in these superstar quarterbacks. And the league promotes quarterback driven league and all that stuff. Because that's what sells the tickets. They need a face, they need a name, they need a story item to run on Sports Center. But being a player, I'm like, if I don't do my job, we lose just as much as if you don't do your job. Everybody just looks at the quarterback. So I didn't think Matt Ryan was the problem. They made some moves. They tried to go for Deshaun Watson. After that, Matt Ryan left, and we're out here with no quarterback. So you don't have a quarterback, and it's a very difficult position to play. I think the Marcus Mariota dude, we was in a lot of games, but then right at the end, he would just do something. But I don't know if that was his fault or I don't know if that was the coach's fault. Some of the play calling in critical situations, I didn't agree with. Well, if you go down the coaching book says when A presents, do B. But when I'm looking at it, it's like, you a damn fool if you do A, because B gonna get you killed.
Right.
So I think next year, if we draft well, and we should have money to go in free agency to get some, I call them dancing bears. We need dancing bears, 300-pound jokers that can move and do what they need to do. Because in any football, and this for any casual fan, this is the way I look at it. If you have an offensive line and a defensive line, you're gonna win. You're gonna be in most football games. If your offensive line can block, I don't care who you put back there to run the ball, you'll get some yards.
That's right.
And if they can hold the line, any quarterback that makes it that far can complete a couple passes.
Yeah.
You can be in the football game. If you're on defensive line, if you can put 4 big old 300-pound jokers that
had to have that wall,
that can run with you, can run fast as you. They can rush the passer, they can play the run, and then everybody else can play football.
There it is.
So we have been bad because we have drafted poorly over the last 6 years. I bring it up to my friends all the time. You can look at the draft, look at the Falcons draft every year from 2016, and look at how many people are even left in the league now. Wow. Everyone that we drafted was decent. They wound up getting pulled away because they wanted more money. So we hadn't been able, that's why, a lot of people are looking at Lamar Jackson, and there's rumors that he might be coming. Maybe Atlanta could go for him. A lot of people, let's see, you would like that. And I understand. I don't want him. I wouldn't want him. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. Because
the Falcons are too mediocre at too many positions that he won't fix enough things. We didn't lose.
And end up hurt again.
We'll be the exact same team that we had with Matt Ryan, except we'll win the same amount of games different ways. The quarterback will be excited. It'll be, razzle dazzle. The stadium will be full. Everybody will be repping their jerseys, but we'll still be 9-10, 9-7, 10-6, maybe one round of the playoffs and get out. We don't have a defense that can do what they need to do. We don't have an offense that can really sustain drives and games. So I would rather put it like this. I don't know. You play video games at one point, right?
Still do. Yeah.
All right.
I don't play sports games though.
I know. Yeah. Check this out. You know the games where you build your character?
Yeah.
Okay. And you have like 12 different spots that you have to fill up, like the speed, agility, strength.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing right now with Cyberpunk 2077.
Exactly. So when you build Cyberpunk 27, you can't make everything a 10, right?
No.
You have to level it out.
You gotta try to balance it out, yeah.
I would much rather have a balanced team all the way over than have one superstar quarterback and a bunch of threes. So if you know how you can build this up to 10, but you only have 100 points. You got 100 points in 12 slots. Yeah. I would rather go 8 across the board and have a couple of 10s and a couple of 5s. So that's kind of what I am with the football team. If we draft well, get a couple pass rushers, a couple of a corner here, a running back, a lineman here, we can build a whole team up. Then instead of those 5 games that we lost at the last second of the game, them 5 wins. And you go from a 7-win team to a 12-win team. And I'm at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium right now, decked out from head to toe with my season tickets.
Damn right, yeah.
And right now I got season tickets, and I can't get the damn things away at the end of the year.
I'll go with you because I need to go in the stadium. I ain't been to the new one yet.
Hey, I try to get the tickets away. Somebody gave me 2 back. I said, God, no. I just want a solid football team. I just want a team that when people know we come to town, everybody like, oh, John, that should be a good game. Not though. Oh, Falcons coming. We win that. We win out like that.
No, exactly.
I get tired of going to that stadium and the whole crowd be the other team, and they be talking trash.
Oh my gosh!
Bite my tongue. Right. And I'm outnumbered with people. I'm like, pop you upside your head. Ooh, that do something deep down to my spirit.
I know, to the spirit, bro. Hurt the spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's so.
Well, that's smart logic. I agree. I completely agree. And you'd be a great player for the game I mentioned too, because you understand that concept. That's like you're always going to shine a little more in one of those characteristics eventually. But like you say, make sure everything is whatever the middle bar is. Have everybody up to that at least.
Yeah.
At least.
You don't want your character to be the strongest joker on the thing, but can't take a hit.
Oh man. Right.
No defense.
Right.
Defense.
You're shooting, but bro, let them get you. It's over.
Yeah. I need to be consistent. I think a good, well-rounded team with good coaching will win you more games than a bunch of superstars. And then the superstars become superstars once you start winning. Once you start winning, everybody becomes a superstar.
Oh yeah, of course. That's just a natural goal. Yeah.
So,
and you will eventually get to the point where it's not just the quarterback. It's going to be 4 or 5 people when they show the highlights and when they show the big pictures, everybody looking all happy. You know, it's going to be some defense.
I want 6, 7 players in the Pro Bowl. That's what I want.
That's dope. That's dope. I like how you think, man. I agree. I completely agree. And when I cared even more, that was like, you talk about it hurt your spirit. My spirit just got hurt too much when I was young, and it wasn't even my thing. It's like, okay, I never really played it. I think it'd been different if I had played like you, because everybody know who played or had any kind of connection like that. They lifers in some way. They're gonna be watching some way somehow. I'm just a little different. I'm more. I got to a point where like everything is always gonna come back to the business. Maybe that's my dad and me. I know it is because he's the economics man. So like he just put that in me. Like, you know, I look at where the money is. And if I'm waking up Monday morning emotional, but this man still made 6 figures and he the dude that didn't even get off the bench, what the hell is that about? Like, that's when I went casual for life, bro. I could care less.
I understand. You know, I'm a fanatic, but a reasonable fanatic. Like, I'm hot mad at the game, but it's a game. It's just a game. Yeah. I like getting upset and want to throw my popcorn. That's what makes it fun. You know, getting into it like, God, son, cussing out everybody in the state. I had my whole section. They just crack up because I go in on them, and they be like, "Yeah, what he said." Man, you know, it's fun. I mope my way back to my car, and then after that, I'm like, "Well, shoot, let's go get something to eat." I'm done with it after that. But
yeah, exactly. So that's healthy. That's healthy.
Back in the day, my mom would be like, "Oh, why are you screaming about that game? You need to come out." Mama, I just like to scream. It's just fun. I just like to
shout out to Mama Brown. That's my lady right there.
She asked about you the other day.
Oh, until I say what's up. That's my girl. But yo, so talk about the rest of what's going on, because obviously this, you know, since that's a good leeway into this, and then we're gonna get into who did make it. But even with what happened with this, the fact that Lamar is hurt, and the fact they got all this controversy about paying the man, which I am totally number 8, number 1. The reason I'm wearing this hat is because of number 8. I got this hat because of number 8. I support the team because of number 8. This man he's the reason I started back kind of watching football. Like, not only watching the highlights, like I plan to hopefully see a little bit of one of the games, all the games leading up to the Super Bowl because of that. So what do you think happened with them?
Well, football is a little different than the other sports, the other major professional sports, in the way that they structure their contracts, and the way that the money works. Football is the only pro sport that has the hard salary cap.
They call it unforgettable. What about that bird? He's cool. He's black. Yo, keep blowing. Yo, keep blowing. Who says you have to clap with the white parts of your hands? Yo, keep blowing. Really banging. This is painful, dog. I agree, it's very painful. Who are all you creepy people with them crazy blue eyes?
We are called Caucasians.
Come on, 5, 6, 7, and then get it, and get it, and get it.
And we're back. So as you were saying about the salary cap in football.
So with that, they got a couple different things in the NFL. It's the hard salary cap and the nature of injuries in the NFL. And there's the one-upism. And I call the one-upism is I don't know, because you, like I said, you're a casual fan, you might not look at it. And like me and my partners, that's literally all we do is send out sports stuff back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But every contract gets bigger and 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 bigger. And I'm like, hey, I'm Joe Schmo, and he just signed for X dollars. I gotta have X dollars plus 2. I gotta have X dollars plus 3.
I am familiar with this,
So now, because of the deal that Deshaun Watson signed,
and that's for what team again? That's
he plays for Cleveland now. He played for Texas. Right. He had the troubles, and then now they signed him back to play with Cleveland, and they gave him a never before fully guaranteed deal. They don't fully guarantee contracts in the NFL. According to the word on the street, is all the other owners are upset that they gave him this fully guaranteed contract, because now that reset the world.
Yeah. Made everybody else have to pay.
Hold on.
That's
you
right.
reset him. You gave him fully. I want fully. So now that's what's holding up Lamar. Lamar says, you know, if Lamar wanted 27, 34 million dollars a year, he'd be playing right now.
Yeah.
Lamar wants $45 million a year or $50 million a year guaranteed for years. And they don't, and their team doesn't want to do that because they don't want to guarantee that much money. And I don't think they want to put that much money, even though he has brought a lot of spark to the team.
To the whole league. Yeah.
To the whole league. But they don't want to, that team, and I don't think many other teams want to give out that full guaranteed contract. That's what I think is what's holding him back right now.
No, it totally is. And every time I watch all of it, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
I'm just saying, everything I see when I watch all of the legends talk about it, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they're saying. They're saying that salary cap and that change of the league. But that ought to tell you something about the league, too. I mean, it's like, here we go again with who makes the league the league? It's the players. Y'all gonna make 10 times the money you holding off and not paying them every time. I always hear this phrase. I say, I have no sympathy for billionaires. Now, if I become a billionaire, I would expect ain't nobody gonna have no sympathy for me. But the difference would be is because of who I am and how I've lived, I would give back so much. People, they'd be scared of, the rest of folk would be scared. I'd become the new billionaire cap because I'd have other billionaires mad at me because I'd make them think, hey, everybody ought to be like Joseph, man. They
wouldn't let you in the club.
I know.
They would say, see, if you was out there coming out here trying to be right to the players and have them being a member, they wouldn't sell you a team. See, the NFL is like, NFL ownership is like British royalty.
Yeah.
You have to be voted. That's a small fraternity of people. Very small fraternity. And you see, it's the Jerry Jones and even the Arthur Blank. They say Arthur walked in and he just smelled like money. They say he's so smooth and so slick. He just like buttery. He's buttery. They move different. So, and they sit there and they fraternities, if they 35, ain't 32 of them. And they talk and they like, look, hey, you messing up the party, man. Hey, don't do that no more. Blah, blah. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. You know, so they're going back and forth with it. And I don't think the Baltimore family is out of the owners of the teams, I think the Baltimore teams is moved and became the
Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens.
I didn't know.
Moved, yeah, they moved in the middle.
I gotta look up who that was. I forgot who that was.
I forgot right off the head. I knew it.
It's all right. If you know, hit us in the comments. Put it in the comments. Appreciate it. But yeah.
So yeah, and they're like you say, one of their first draft picks was Ray Lewis, and from that point they had Ozzie Newsome was one of the GMs of player development, and he didn't do nothing but pick winners. Ozzie picked winners for years, and they've been a consistent team, pretty good. So, but like right now, teams that's involved. If I was, listen.
Who going to the Super Bowl and why? Let's go.
I would say Kansas City and Philadelphia. That's who I think. That's who I want.
Okay.
And that's my best guess. But the next would be Kansas City, San Francisco will be number 2. Buffalo 49ers would probably be number 3. Or Buffalo and Buffalo and Philadelphia may get there. I think Philadelphia is the best team in the NFC. And I think Kansas City is the best team in the AFC. But Buffalo is a solid team, and they're riding an emotional wave.
Yeah.
Cincinnati. Now, I'm all for emotional waves, but I don't believe in emotional waves but so much. Because you can be all emotional you want. If I'm a better man, I'm finna whoop you either way it go. I don't care about you being emotional. That emotion ain't gonna last for 60 minutes. You can't be emotional for 60 minutes.
True that. Would you say, I noticed you didn't mention my Jaguars, which I got love for just because I got family down there and stuff, and I love them. But you heard what I said. They
what? Man, if you don't get the whole...
Oh, yeah, hold on.
I hope you edit this nonsense out, too. Boy, if you don't take that doggone hat.
I noticed you didn't mention the Jaguars. I'm just saying.
Joseph R. Willer, founder and creator and CEO of ONYXCON International. If you don't take that shenanigans off your head right now, and I say right now, I will get my app, I will find you and I will shake you, sir. The Jaguars?
This is why I can't do these interviews talking about sports in person.
See, exactly. Because I mean, are you serious right now?
Because as you talked about body types, look, hey, I'm a strong Jaguar, but I ain't trying to fight with gorillas. But
the only reason the Jaguars made it.
Stop.
Is because San Diego is actually the biggest choke team in America.
Oh my God.
And a lot of people put that on the Falcons. A lot of people put that on the Falcons, but the San Diego Chargers have been the biggest disappointments for 20 years. They had Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Thomas. What's the running back name? Great, LaDainian Thompson. They had great tight end. I can't remember his name. They had literally Pro Bowl players, and every year they were the number one seed in the AFC, and they were losing the first round of the playoff. They would fall apart. They would score 40 points the whole season, get to the playoff, and play the doggone Ben Hill Tigers and couldn't kick a field goal every year. And that's the only reason the Jaguars are the doggone Ben Hill Tigers.
You said Ben Hill Tigers. That's some like little league stuff here in Atlanta, right? You gotta explain that because they ain't gonna understand the joke. We talking about
the Jaguars are 2 steps above Pop Warner.
Stop. Look.
The Jaguars are a good SEC team.
Look. Here we go again, though. Just to speak for my casual fans and for all my Duval folks, check it. Duval. Listen. It's just like home team. One thing about them, though, you can't front. They look good when they losing or winning, so I'm rocking with them for that. Because hey, you can't sweat on. You can't flex on the fresh, though. You can't flex on the fresh.
Oh.
You can't flex on the fresh. Now I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh with you. I'm laughing so hard because I watched that game, right? And I was like, what the hell is happening? Like, I have not been that entertained watching a football game in so long because I could not believe they came back after halftime like that. That was absolutely incredible. So just that alone, I feel like we all can agree, yeah, they probably ain't gonna make it to the Super Bowl. But I said it. Probably, haven't they been before though? Didn't they? I remember one year they went, right? They did go. You can talk stuff, but they did. They lost that year though, right? Who was that? I forget who they were playing, but they went. Hope it don't look like the Georgia TCU game. Because I be forgetting sometimes that even happened. I just be like, I know the Georgia Bulldogs are the champions.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and make everybody mad.
Yeah, go on and make them mad.
I am not a UGA fan,
and I know this because there it is. Boom. With the fire department.
I am not a UGA fan.
That's a first sure. Is that like a special custom from what? Like for your department or something?
Well, we did. They had the previous coaching staff had his first year there. He had some themes.
Keep talking. Stand up again, just so they can really see it. Just keep talking.
They had a themed practice.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, yeah. Protect. Yeah.
They had a themed practice, and what they did was they reached out to our department and they asked us if we could give them a training session like we train our fire recruits. They just wanted to switch up their a summer training program. And one of the things I do at our department is I'm a peer fitness trainer. So I was kind of like, I took kind of the lead on it. So I got some of us together. We put together some workouts that we do with our recruits. And we took it to their team, and we worked them out and trained with them for a day. And this was their theme shirt for the day. And we got some, and I grabbed me.
Got some swag. That's what's up, man.
This is literally my favorite T-shirt. This is my sit around the house T-shirt.
I've seen you in that before.
I probably wear it. you know, we kids of the 70s and 80s. You know, you came home, you had to put your play clothes on.
You got your favorite stuff on. That's right.
You had to put your play clothes on.
That's true.
Good clothes on. Put your play clothes on.
That's right. Take out church clothes, put on play clothes. Yeah.
These are my around the house play clothes. So I was just chilling. But yeah, I would think Kansas City has the best. They got the most solid team. They got the most solid quarterback. He's probably going to win MVP. They got a great defense. Their coach is solid. They've been there, 3 times. So they in a vibe. They chilling. Buffalo's got a strong chance, but I know last week quarterback played terribly, but they won. Threw 3-4 interceptions. You throw 3-4 interceptions in the playoffs, that's usually a wrap for that game. The Jags.
Hey, let's put it like this. I ain't wishing nobody to get hurt because that's the worst thing I hear when people get hurt. But they that team I know, if enough folk get hurt or something weird happen, they that slip in type thing right now. But the fact that they can even make it this far in a season like what it's been, it's commendable, man. I mean, just give me props.
Well, they made tremendous turnaround since last year.
Straight up.
Tremendous. I have to give them that. And the quarterback, the young boy Trevor Lawrence from Georgia, from the Georgia area, played at Clemson, but he's from the Metro Atlanta area.
How about it? All right.
He's he is smooth. He looks good. He's gonna go somewhere. But that is I just don't see it.
I'm only taking this down because I can see it messing with your psychology to even keep talking. So go.
I don't think their team is solid in enough places. I don't think their team is solid in enough places. Because at this time, this part of the year, like the Cowboys will be playing next to.
Yeah. Now, I'm not even, it's funny about Dallas. Like, I could care less. I know that's a cult. So as soon as you say that, you got to be careful. These folk crazy. But
hey, come at me. Come at me all day.
That's my protection. That's my protection.
I do not care.
You can play if you want to.
You can tell me about the Super Bowl. You can tell me about your Super Bowl history. It's a very respectful history. You have a very respectful franchise. Your team is trash, and your fan base is trasher.
I'm not even that serious about it to call them trash. It's just I don't care. I just don't. I think my thing with Dallas,
the fan base makes them so bad. You know what makes me mad about?
Go ahead, break it down.
Let's say I recently found an interest in soccer.
Okay.
Football. Atlanta got a team. I got tickets to the team. I love
United.
The Atlanta United. I rep it all the time. I love that team. It's a great program. Love it. You go to a soccer match, them jokers are coming there with a Dallas Cowboy doggone jersey. Man, if you don't take that bull jive off, it's a soccer game. Get out of here. And then it's not like we playing the Dallas soccer team and then they just repping some Dallas. We might be playing Montreal and these jokers out here in a Cowboys jersey at the dang on Braves game. What are you doing? It don't make no sense. You at a Hawks game. Hawks versus Milwaukee. And this joker walking down in a Michael Irvin jersey, just walking out as proud as he can be. You look dumb. It makes no sense. How about them Cowboys? Shut up.
Why?
I
feel you. It is. That's why I say it's a cult. It's just like some of the other cults in sports, like with Alabama, for example. Roll Tide.
But know what though? What's up? Alabama is a cult. They strong.
It's a cult.
But Alabama has won the championship. Like right now, your coach should be strong.
Oh no,
you have college football done it. 10 years. You should be walking around. The Cowboys, it's people 30 years old and ain't never seen no Cowboys.
And that's what amazes me about the cult. But you know what I realized? Again, I like the casual fan gonna look at the money. We love to talk about the money, or at least, and even with that, I don't dig I know you do too, because you say you be into this. So do you know that when you talk about the worth of teams, not just on the field, that is the number one team in all of the NFL for what it's worth in billions.
It might be in the world. It might be the most valuable
Might
team
be.
in the world.
Might be.
I know it's by far the most valuable in the league. But
absolutely insane.
In America by far, but it might be up there in the world. Because, I mean, it might be like, what is that? Not Real Madrid, is soccer franchise, like the Assault. And there's a couple other ones that are really big. But
Arsenal and all that.
Yeah, Arsenal, some of them other things. But no, I think the Cowboys might be the most valuable team in the world, which is great. Wonderful.
And that's how
because they have a red. Now, I understand why they are so. I understand how the fan base got designed, how it got done. I get it. So, way back in the day, when there
70s especially.
Back when there were only 3 channels, you only got, a game on the ABC and a game on, CBS or whatever. That's all you got.
Right.
And a Monday Night Football game.
Right.
So they put on the bigger teams at the times. In the 70s, the Cowboys and the Steelers were bigger teams. So you saw Cowboys, NFC, Steelers, AFC a lot on TV. That's why Green Bay has such a big fan base. As a matter of fact, in the 80s, we probably saw more 49ers games than we saw Falcons games.
I remember that because of Joe Montana. Joe Montana.
I used to be a 49ers fan when I first started watching sports. In like the early, mid 80s, when I really got started watching, 49ers was winning. The 49ers was winning.
Hey.
It was on TV all the time.
Programming.
49ers fan.
Yeah.
By the time the 90s came around, Back in Black, Neon, Deion Sanders, hey, I'm living in Atlanta. I'm from the A. Why would I rep something from across the doggone nation? I've never even seen San Francisco. I've been to Paris, France more times than I've been to San Francisco. Why I'm gonna rep that darn thing? I'm from Atlanta. I'm repping.
You don't been. He ain't joking. You don't been. But that'd be the difference.
Win, lose, or draw. So
that'd be the difference. And that's exactly why, even as a casual fan, like when I choose a jersey or anything, I like to do some research. I like to have something that if somebody who is that super fan come up to me about whatever it is, I got something for them versus just, you join the bandwagon because you want to be hot with what's hot, and you're just trending. It's got to be a little more than that, even if on an artistic level, I'm just really just digging the colors and the logo and the mascot. But I will do my research. I will find, like, this hockey team. I haven't been to one hockey game, Sherwin, but I have been ice skating. And at one crazy time in my life, I actually thought I wanted to learn how to play hockey just because I'm that different black dude. I went to this little rink here in Georgia, in the Atlanta metro area. I can't even remember where I was. It's crazy. When I got there, it was nothing but a bunch of teenagers and college-age kids out there practicing. And they were so rough, and it was so crazy to watch them in person, how rough it is to see them smashing that glass and everything. I'm standing on the outside of the rink looking at this like, this is what they be doing? And then these 2 kids came with me. I had on this beanie, always wearing something, and it was like a Snoopy on the beanie, and they just thought that was so cool, and they were just like fanning out like, dude, your beanie. The 2 white kids are like, this is so cool. And I was like, hey, thanks, fellas. They're teenagers. I'm like, whatever, 30s in my age. And then both of them smiled, and they was missing teeth, and I said, no, my parents did not pay for this smile with braces for me to get out. They be talking about I wanted to try something different, and I myself would be, no. That's when I let go of hockey immediately.
Yeah, teeth are overrated for hockey.
Yeah, especially you finna lose it. They both was jacked up. They was just teenagers. So I said, wow. And you can tell they were some hardcore. Like, this what do we do? We just play hockey, man. We play hockey. So like, I love jerseys. So I'm going to research a little bit about it. Okay. I'm aware if I buy it, that's about that. But like you say, with this, I even used to have, it's funny, I got it on sale at like a Burlington coat factory. How you can get stuff for sale, crazy. I didn't even know it was a Dallas shirt when I bought it. It was a real plain, solid black jersey with a blue 8 and stars on the shoulders. And I just thought, oh, that's just a clean jersey. So I got it later on, realized, oh, this is Dallas, and it's the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like
Roy Aikman. Yep.
It's all of that. And I didn't even realize. I was just like, cool jersey. And I used to wear it every day.
I'd have broke out in hives.
It would be so funny though, because folks would look at you, they get it, and you'd be like, you're like, what the hell? Your jersey, dude. It's the jersey. It's hilarious. So no, I'm just once I realized how the cult is, and then some, excuse me, no pun to the players, or like you say, the part of them, because somebody you hate on that team right now could be on the Falcons next year and be the reason we win. This is what I know about the game, so I don't get that deep into it. I just look at it.
I just hate everybody that doesn't wear a Falcon jersey. I hate you with a passion. Like, I hate everything about you. I hate your family. I hate your kids. I hate your house. I hate
the views and opinions expressed by Sherwin Brown do not necessarily reflect his or ONYXCON's or its affiliates, associates, and sponsors.
Hate them. Hate them.
It's all playful sports talk.
Hey, but what? Hey, put it like this. And once you leave my team, I don't care nothing about you. Julio who?
Oh,
get out of here. You're a bum.
Hey, Julio.
You're a bum.
I you know, it's funny. The reason I almost got me some Bucks gear because I like the area for vacation, and I like the gear. I like the pirate theme and all that. I guess it's the Raiders in me with high school stuff, but and even before that, the Raiders of LA and everything. But check it. Here's my thing. Listen. Here's my thing though. With my man,
I don't know if I can be on the interview with this joke.
Be all right. This is how you see us. This is perfect. This is the core of sports talk. The casual fan, the hardcore fan. You see the difference in the psychology. Because I'm laughing through all that.
I like the area, man.
It's beautiful. I know you've been to Tampa, right?
Yeah, I've been to Tampa.
So I didn't care as much about the city as Stillwater nearby. So
New Orleans is one of the most fun places in America.
But you never wear a Saints jersey.
I wouldn't care if Beyonce Knowles was a New Orleans fan. It's like, Cheryl, I love you. Take that jersey off, player, and then we can talk. When you get the jersey off, maybe I ain't gone now. The Saints.
But I got love for a lot of friends and folk that I know from New Orleans. So, like you said, I ain't got no gear, but I got a friend of mine.
I got 2 or 3 friends. They're so sweet. They're some sweetest young ladies I ever met in my life. Beautiful women. Love them to death. I'd do anything in the world for them. They solid. They say, I ain't studying y'all. As a matter of fact, on Friday before the weekend, I'm like, no, I don't like you no more. I'll talk to you again on Monday.
Don't call me, don't text.
Hey, did you know? Let me tell you how crazy this is. Between Saints and Falcons. I don't know if your people who gonna look at this know. Do you know in New Orleans they celebrate March 28th,
which is
3/28, and they celebrate it because the Falcons blew the lead from 3/28. They have a big old second line and like a whole little. Everybody has like a little. It's like a little New Orleans thing. They literally have like a celebration because we lost the Super Bowl, and that 3/28 they celebrate that. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I didn't.
They really do that. It's 3/28. That's how serious that is, man. I am dead serious.
That's the last time I got emotional about a game. I was dating this young lady and went over her place for a Super Bowl party.
They have a little second line. They come dancing, bump, 3/28 up in the air. Yes. Yes.
Y'all on another level with it.
Yes.
I did not know they went there with it.
Yeah, man.
But like I said, that's the last time I got emotional about a game.
I was in Houston.
Dude.
I was in Houston for the game.
Man. You say you went to the game?
I went to Houston, and
where was that game played? Anyway.
It was in Houston. I was in Houston.
So you were there, but you just weren't at this. Okay, gotcha.
I had a pocket full of money.
Damn.
A pocket full of money that if somebody could have gave me a ticket, I was gonna drop. Let's go.
Hell with the mortgage.
Kidding about no money. Kidding about no money, baby. I was gonna get the bill. I'm so glad I didn't spend that money.
I am too, brother.
I probably would have shed real tears when we were in Houston. Everybody was going for us. Everybody. The city was full of Falcons fans. It was probably 70% Falcons fans, 30% New England fans.
Uh-huh.
The whole nation was rooting for us because everybody wanted to beat the Patriots.
Everybody just wanted to see the Patriots finally. Yeah.
Oh, and then we looked so good that we killing them. They had a whole club that was Falcon headquarters. It was probably 1,000 people in that building. We partying, we yelling, we watching the game.
Ain't nothing worse than that feeling. The hell happened from halftime.
But in that game, when they scored that final touchdown and won that game, that 1,000 people left that building within 4 minutes. Ghost town. The whole, Houston probably took a financial hit.
Yeah.
Because when we were there, I had money. I ain't buy no ticket. I was finna buy drinks. I was finna get it. Man, we were party, baby. Buy up every piece of memorabilia that you could put your hands on. We was ready. The city was shut. After that, every bar was empty. Every club was closed. People had rooms, got in their car, walked out the game, and drove home to Atlanta. Just we had to fly into Dallas. Dallas is about 2 hours from Houston, about 2 hours and some change from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Or longer, it might be 2-3 hours from Houston. It's a good ride.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my buddies rode down there. We had a rental car. On the way back, the whole car was dead silent. Every 20 or 30 minutes. Oh, I lose that game, man. I can't believe it.
So in your opinion, of all the teams you mentioned, besides the ones you don't think have any chance at all, who do you say is okay? Who are you rooting for? Because for me, it's about them Eagles. I'm with the Eagles. I really like the quarterback.
I want Philly. I want Philly to win.
We on the same page.
I think it'll be Philly. Philly, Kansas City, I think would be a fun Super Bowl.
I agree.
I think Philly.
Let me tell you what. Let me say this real quick. My thing with Kansas City is they're that one. Well, there's plenty of other teams, but they're one of the main national, huge NFL teams. Really, the only one left that still got that Native American insult going, and I don't dig that. That's my issue with them. You got to drop that stuff there. Me knowing I have indigenous roots, and even if I didn't, they got to let that go. They got to let that go. They let that go, and I could rock with Kansas City because I do like.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up? What's up?
Let me ask you a question.
Let's break it down.
So let's just. I'm gonna hijack your show for a second.
Do what you do.
So let's look at the definition of a mascot.
Yes.
So a mascot is usually tradition, an animal or symbol that represents, that the team uses as a representation of what they embody. So with the Redskins, the term Redskin was a racial slur-ish. It was a racial slur.
Definitely was. One time in history, it was a
racial slur. Okay. Yeah. So that's why Redskins moved away. But the Kansas City Chiefs, Vikings.
I know where you're going with this.
So I'm like, Chiefs.
Or even Seminoles with Florida State, for instance.
The Florida State Seminoles. So we are saying that. So I'm looking at it in a non. Clearly, I don't have the negative connotation for Chiefs, just like I don't for the Braves. The Braves is like, okay, we want our representative to be a young Native American warrior who we feel is prideful and represents what we want to embody as a unit and send out as our symbol. So to me, I see it as a figure like that could be a positive, just like a buccaneer was I think a Spanish pirate, like a Spanish pirate, and there's a raider. Here's some raider, which was a person, but a Viking is a literal subset of people from a certain area.
Yeah.
I watched the Vikings show all binged it while I was sitting in the house. It's a great show, but it's a simple. So Vikings could be not. You can take.
I know where you're going. So here's my easy answer.
New Orleans. I'm not New Orleans, but the college team, Notre Dame, fighting.
There's a difference. Notre Dame fighting Irish. The school was started by who? Irish. Okay. And it's a religious-based thing. So this is from us, by us, about us, pride for us. Okay. Seminoles ain't got a damn thing to do with the Seminole Nation, but in the history of me knowing about them as a school and what they've done, they've given a lot of money, and they know how they're being looked at because of that. So in later on history, as the team evolved, I've heard about them giving money to, reservations and things to try to help people in this situation as the aftermath of everything that America did. Okay. Then you got, you said the Braves. Oh boy. I will wear that A any day. But if it's got that tomahawk on it, and I like the way the tomahawk looks because I like weapons. I have a personal affinity because of growing up hunting and fishing and stuff. I like weaponry and shapes, and then it's the artist in me. Shape, form, texture, the chipped flint blade, all that stuff really works with me. But when you are back in the day when we went in high school, I'll never forget, I did the tomahawk chop because I was an ignorant little high school kid and didn't know what I'm really saying to people who were offended by this. But then when I heard their side of it, folk who still exist, who are still struggling, who are still in the dumps and the gutters of America because of where they've been left after all of the disease, after all of the modern weaponry of the time and everything else, and all the false trees and everything that went into establishment of this place. I can't rock with that and be talking about I'm proud of my native heritage. I can't. So like I say, I'll wear the A because that's Atlanta. I ain't wearing that damn tomahawk if I can help. If somebody gave me something, I might take the shirt, whatever. But I would be real not happy to be seen in it because it would counter everything I'm saying right now. So then to make the Chiefs another region, like pretty much everywhere in this country, was native territory. So for you to name it after them to say, oh, we're giving you honor. Yeah, well, are you giving any money back? And maybe they do. Maybe they do some stuff like the Seminoles. I ain't heard about it. They made sure in their press in situation that I'm aware of it. And I'm saying, when you got that kind of money involved, when you've got that kind of structure involved, if I can't see the kickbacks, if I can't see, you know what I'm saying, when there's billions being made, what you just described about the money made, thousands of people in the one club you was in Houston during that time, and the money you saw being thrown until we lost the game, it don't matter. They still got your money in Houston. They made their money whether y'all left town and they wanted more that night or not. They made money. And people are always making money off of something. So these symbols and these representations always mean something. And it's my issue from even being in Hollywood. I made a recent video, I ain't gonna get too far off on it, but I was talking about Avatar. And we're making them aliens, but these aliens represent real people who are still in dire straits. Just like a lot of what makes me, Black. So in trying to wrap it up, because this is a real heavy topic, but it's like what I said about, the video I made about Avatar. It's like billions of dollars. This is one of the biggest films ever made, period. I think to date, it's like the highest budget for any film, this last second Avatar. And I saw it for the spectacle of it. I saw it for the art involved. And I'm always supportive of the creativity. But I got big issue with when you're using somebody's motifs there. You basically, I love the way you look. I like your tattoos. I like your skin color. I like your complexion. I like your features. I like your hair. I'm going to borrow all of that. You know what I'm saying?
I love everything about you. But you.
And you and your people can always be all right with me if you stay away where I don't have to really deal with you, where I can just extract whatever I need from you at any given time to appropriate it to making me more billions. And all we get left is having to operate in this thing you create for us. And we'll just take the bits and pieces of it and make a life out of it, still be fans, still buy products, still absorb all this stuff. But all the while knowing how much of it we are truly a part of at the end of the day. In some cases, the only reason it exists, but you're not seeing any financial kickback on that level. So until we are on to the page where I always say, like, it's like a person who says they want to live in a, what do they call those things? The little houses, the whole movement of less and all that. And everything. If that's what Yeah, if you want to live a minimalist reality, fine. But if you want to kick it large, and I want to have 12-foot ceilings and a modern home with all the modern arrangements of modern science and stuff, but still in tune with the rest of nature, and I can travel when I want to, and I can eat when I want to, and I can do anything I need, just like most people who own NFL teams and own all of these networks. And if it's a choice, and let's not even make it a playing field, just it ain't even I've done enough research and done enough life to realize this is why it was all a construct. You created a race that never existed. Humanity wasn't competing with each other. Yeah, if you live next door to me, we competed for resources. Since the beginning of time, people have always warred with each other over resources. But in the wisdom of the ancient cultures, once we get to the point where, damn, I done just about wiped out all the Browns and he done about wiped up all the Wheelers, usually we came to some organizational agreement of, man, we can't keep all this damn fighting going, and we learn to live in harmony. Only those who really think that they are totally in competition with everything else want to just control and kill damn near everything else to stay in charge of it. And it's not about one person being in charge. That's not nature. That's not how nature works. Now, as I keep saying, we are one with the rest of nature. So that's my issue with, those teams that do that, and why it has to change for us to, for some of us, if you root for who you root for. Like I say, I do root for my home. I root for members of the team. There's individuals, there's people who I would wear a Kansas City hat for. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I ain't gonna be as quick to buy that as something else that I ain't got as much stuff going on in my head every time I look at it. Like, yeah. My last topic was this, as we talk about the ethics of team. Must be coming. Be coming. What do you think about my man Dion? Because I love every minute of it. I like what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other. So Dion, I have no problem. So I don't have no problem with Dion as a whole. He's done some things that I don't agree with. He's done some things that I wouldn't say are questionable, but I don't want to hold him to a higher standard than I hold any other coach, because every coach comes into your house. Every coach comes into that parent's house, tells them, ma'am, send your son to come play with me. I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to get him through school. We're going to look out for him. We're going to give him every opportunity to play, and we're going to do the best for you, and blase, this, and this. And a large portion of those coaches, when the opportunity arises, will move to a bigger job, or they might get fired. So
which is
they
what he said.
owe a certain amount of allegiance to what they say. So, but there were times when Dion got there and he spoke about, God told him to take the job, and when he flipped some of the biggest recruits to come play there, and they're like, well, you can't get anything at Jackson State. What are you going to learn there? And he said, why can't the best students come play with us? Us. And us being the HBCU, us and us and us. And then when the opportunity came to go to a bigger school that wasn't us, he took that opportunity. Now, do I have a problem with him taking the opportunity? No. Let me tell you what that. I love City of Atlanta. I work for the City of Atlanta Fire Department. That's where I work, and my views do not reflect the City of Atlanta Fire Department. They're just Sherwin's views. And I want to retire from the City of Atlanta Fire Department, moving up and doing everything I can for the city. If somebody come and offer me 10 times more than I make it right now, playboy. I'm going to leave the keys and everything. I'm going to do my exit interview on Zoom in some other place doing it. So I'm not upset about the financials. He went to a better situation to do his overall, whatever his overall reaching goal was. But when he did come, he did use a lot of savior and messiah type language in his early pressers when he first got to the school and over his course that he was there.
So let me do a little.
If I ain't swag, who is swag? Who is swag? Baby, not me, because I took a job somewhere else. So he got to take some accountability for what he doing and when he left, because he did.
And he does. From what I see. And from what I see, he does. Now here's the only part about all of what you said that I don't even really have an issue with. I look at it. I really just look at it from the outside. That's all. I just look at it from the outside, and what I'm talking about is the religious bite of it. I'm not religious. I grew up in this Bible Belt. I had to go to church. Keyword was HAD. Had to go to church, like most of us did. And when I came of a certain age, luckily in the household I'm from, with my parents still together, you know what I'm saying? And my dad being the dude who's not going to be in church, that ain't his thing. I saw his example of that, and then my mom being in it. And then I also got to see it from the inside. I got a pastor uncle who is a major pastor. I mean, he done been all over the country pastoring. He done done the Dion coaching thing with being a pastor, taking different opportunities, And so I've seen it from the inside. With that is to say, when people are using these words and hitting these emotional notes that do always work for those who are religious, it's going to become your track record. Like you say, it's going to, even if you're not religious, if you're more spiritual, but you still tie yourself to that Christian way of it all, to hear that, it's going to make certain folk feel like you made a covenant with God, and they're going to be mad forever. They're going to continue to think you betrayed them, when in essence, you went with you never betrayed anything. You was doing what you needed to do for your family and for your reality. So, these things are going to hit emotional buttons for those who subscribe to that culture. And if you're religious, that's the culture I'm talking about, specifically Christian-based, and especially Black church, whatever denomination. So the fact that Dion is a pastor, the fact that Dion did use all of that, I wish he would lay back on that, but I can't be him. I just got to take him for who he is, because he ain't going to change. And I love him enough to love him regardless, because I see it as he's smart enough to know that he got his own personal relationship with what he would call God. And I think nothing about what he's done is totally in contradiction of anything he said, because at the end of the day, he still made sure that where he's at is going to somehow tie, if they will let him give opportunities. He wants to give back to Jackson State still. He wants to still bring in players from other places, or have some kind of cross-educational pollination going on. And this is something I think you're going to see from Dion. As long as he wants to coach, he will. And I don't think that this is the end of his career. I think he's going to everybody wants to see him go NFL, but he already said, I don't want to deal with that, because it's just, you can't shake them guys. They too rich and they don't want to hear you. So I think he might end up at another college team before it's over. He might do 2 more if he can, stay healthy enough long enough to want to stand on the sidelines dealing with his foot issues still. But I just don't think anything is that off about it, other than this is, like I said, not being religious. I would love it. I guess in an alternate universe, us being comic book folk, let's do a what if Marvel style. Imagine if Dion was not religious. Half of this stuff that folk mad about, they wouldn't even be able to say nothing. Or they'd be mad at him because of that, because he didn't say God this, God that is the reason.
Well, not even the God thing too. He also did the HBC. The HBCU is just as good as the other schools,
which I'm sure he still believes in. But on a personal level, he took a better opportunity.
But just looking at it, that's the only kind of issue I had with it. Like, and honestly, and this is another thing, I think he would have been smoother if the first one that came to him, the Colorado job, he didn't take. Staying here at Jackson State.
No, wait a minute. Now he had other offers.
Like this year, he just was like, "Nah, I'm staying at Jackson State."
But here's the other thing.
There's gonna be 10 schools. There's gonna be 10 schools that fire their coach next year, and then next year they come out with a bigger bag, and then they're like, "Here you go, Dion." All right, guys, I can't pass this up. Oh, you stayed for us that one time. Thanks, Dion. We understand. Then you kind of feel it like he could have like I don't think he was hurting the jump right now. All of a sudden,
I would say this.
I
Though,
don't think the opportunity came around.
You got me when you started talking about the religious thing, so I focused on that. I didn't get into the most important element for me, though. The most important element for me was when you find out the behind the scenes stuff of the treatment that he was getting at Jackson State from administration. And we know, because even though we didn't go to black colleges, it don't matter. I always tell people all the time, I say, my friends who went to HBCUs, I say, hell, I didn't have to, some people, there's two types of people that go to HBCU. I say this all the time. There's those who need to keep that at home feeling, round the way fit, whatever. They got to only be around black folk to feel comfortable to where they want to matriculate. Then there's folks who make a decision based on this had what I needed, and when I looked at the catalog, the menu of what was available at HBCUs, they didn't have what I needed, or the offer was not being given, or whatever the case may be, which is what my reality was as an artist at the time. So things have changed. I mean, like if I was in school now, I could see myself possibly considering Hampton University. Shout out Hampton, because they have an amazing art program. So I'm always saying, go where people show you love, no matter who they are. But if your own folk ain't treating you right, sorry, y'all, I can go find some black folk to be around. I'm going to be the coach of a team where the only folk, well, not only, but a great majority of the people I'm going to be coaching are still young black men. So what we talking about? And he often says that, and I agree with that. It's like, can we get focused on, if that's your thing, I want to help mine, I can help you by just living my best life, because I promise you a great example is better than somebody right amongst you that ain't able to do nothing because they ain't got no resources. And keep going wherever they treating you right, because I know what it feels like to be a 501c3 nonprofit ONYXCON and can't get no donations monthly. Don't get me started. But I know you got some games to watch, and I appreciate you hanging in with me, man.
I still want to get a deep sea fishing trip.
Oh yeah.
Charter us a boat, get out there, and spend the whole day out there, see if we can get us some 2-foot snappers.
Caberas.
Yeah. You want to catch the doggone jaws. I want some so I can eat. You want to catch the doggone.
I want both. We do it like we say for ONYXCON.
You want to get out there and catch the Kraken. I just want some I can put in dip in some butter sauce and some tartar sauce.
We're going to get both of them, bro. I'm here for both of them, the thrill and the meal. That's what we do. Thank you, man. This has been my dude, Sherwin Brown, y'all. Give it up. Appreciate you, fam.